Okay, so the one thing that I notice with the X step, and this is a lot of my students have been doing.
Okay.
So when they come into the X step, the stride is short and it looks relatively good, but what I'm calling is, I'm gonna make a video on this called not breaking the box.
Okay.
Where what happens is it's really easy to X step when we step like this.
Yeah.
But in watching a lot of form, primarily Albert Tom's, and realizing with my own as well, because I also had the tendency to be like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna get here, because originally I had like this massive, like longer than James Conrad.
Yeah, right.
And when especially looking at Albert Tom, the way that he steps is not like he's on this leg and he turns and keeps it short, is that he is like adducting
Okay.
like this. And so what happens is that his hips are still very much pointed this way, which then makes it a lot easier to have a coil that isn't being sapped by the back foot being back.
Okay.
So that's the one thing I think that we can do drills for.
Okay.
For working on the X step. Because the rest of like the mechanics are pretty solid, but your just knee ends up pointing just a little bit back here.
Got it.
And so like there's this one drill that Josh has been having people do where it's like you come into the X step and then you should be able to stay balanced.
Oh yeah.
It's really hard to like, if you do your X step where you turn like this, you'll notice to stay balanced, you basically have to turn the rest of the way around. Or you notice yourself rocking back. But if you're adducting, it's much easier to stay.
Okay.
And so that helps with like that motion.
Okay.
Where you can literally just drill this at home by just get on your toes. And sidestep.
Isaac Robinson.
This is how you should be X stepping. It's not this. Like then you should be able to repeat it over and over. If you turn, you're repeating over and over will bring you in a circle. Versus you can just move linearly towards the target.
I can see that.
It feels really, really small, but it's like I've noticed on mine, like I'm like right here. And it definitely feels like a stretch. But very useful.
It doesn't seem to hurt, or like it doesn't, like it feels good.
It feels good. For the working on the footwork aspect, we're just gonna do it really slow. We're not gonna throw, because we know we're ingraining that particular pattern. We don't wanna go back to the old pattern as much. And because we're working on a different element. So we're gonna do our steps as normal, where you got your prep step. It's your first. Then now we're here, kind of like we're getting to that. So like that's 45. Now we're essentially at 180 perpendicular to our target. And then because you're kind of here and turning, what we want to do is we really want to be focused that we've got a little bit of bend. We're on the toes on both, and we're just going to really focus on this step. Like right here. Like we should be able to do it slow and controlled, and notice our toes here. Like we're leading with the toes, not this way. You lead with heel. So we need to lead with those toes so we can then get them down. And then from here, that's what sets us up for the coil phase. So when I'm doing mine, and if you look at Albert Tom, his eyes are locked to here, then he does his coil. And having our foot here helps us actually have more tension. Like you might be able to hear the strain of my voice, because actually I like feel a lot. I'm like basically like I'm doing a crunch. There's two ways that I can take that tension out. I turn my hip. I'm actively trying to keep the same amount of tension. There just isn't, because I've now changed the bottom of the coil. Like if I was twisting the spring and I let it go on the bottom a little bit, I'd have less coil versus here. The other thing you can do, a lot of people do, is they do this. This also takes out the coil. So it's head between our feet, over our belt buckle, and then back foot parallel. So that's why we have to focus so much on that next step. It's because it means a lot later down the line. So let's just do some reps of that. Just real slow.
So make sure I'm in frame. All right, good enough.
It's real slow.
Something like that. I can see that still kind of.
Just go even slower. It should not feel normal.
I actually start out in like the Coil.
Oh, you do? Okay, so you do a 3-step? Same thing. So do your step, now go slow. Feel like you should feel a very noticeable difference. Be like, wow, this is kind of hard.
Yeah, yeah.
This takes a lot of balance. Like I wouldn't be able to do this if I was going, like if I'm going really fast, it's really hard to have that small step because you feel like you gotta like get the balance. So it takes going slow to get to it.
Something like that.
Yeah. One thing I noticed with like another few of my students that you can think about is like we call it the X step.
Okay.
We would say that this is an X with my legs.
Okay.
Or it's like if you were drawing from the top of my hip down to my feet, this would make an X. If I do this, it's not an X.
Okay.
It's a V.
Oh.
Because it goes up to here and my other foot's over here and it goes down.
Okay.
And so it's like visually, you can see there's a difference between like my knees here, both pointing this way, and this.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
Oops. Need to keep more parallel. There we go.
Yep. Yep. I would get looks in my department during my PhD because I would like walk to the bathroom and I'd just be like, just doing this the whole way there.
Everyone walks to the restroom. What are they talking about? Get with the program.
I think I have a video on my channel of me taking the trash out. I'm like, because I would do this like anytime I would go for a walk, I'd be like, okay, we're working the steps. Yep.
Might as well. Gonna use the restroom. I'll be back out. I'll be back in 5 minutes. No.
Yeah, it's so different doing it. Like it's just a different set of muscles.
What do they call those? I forget what it is.
This is adduction.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm adding to my center. I also tend to think that my abductors are closer to my butt. So that's how I remember that this is ab and this is ad.
And actually, I see how this could help with planting before throwing.
Yeah. If you're interested in personalized coaching like this, hit me up with my email or sign up for the daily form reviews tier at overthrowpatreon.com. It also just helps a lot with balance because you actually have to be under yourself to do it. Like if I'm moving at like blinding speed, like, and I try to take a short step, like it's not gonna work. I'm gonna end up like going this way. All right, now as you do that final stride out, because now we're getting it, we're able to do it. On the final stride out, instead of just stepping sideways, now I want you coil.
Got it.
Then restart.
Okay.
And go from there.
Okay.
So instead of just the infinite X step, you go here, coil, pause, then back to the...
Okay.
Yep.
Pass again.
Make sure we're coiling with our hips too a little bit.
Yeah. Got it. Like that?
You could probably get, may I touch you?
Yeah, go for it.
Just a little bit more.
A little bit more, okay.
You'll probably feel some of the wind up now.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
You feel it, like there's a clenching? Yep.
Yep.
Almost as if you were doing Russian twists, where you're like, ooh, I really, like, that's kind of that's similar to what I feel. I like that. How's it feel to you?
Feels pretty good. I can definitely feel more of a tension. I'm gonna slow it down a little bit. And get back to mark. Keep doing that and take a break for a second.
Yep.
For a very first time.
I mean, hey, that was pretty good.
Okay.
Don't throw. I want to watch it back.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, much better on the X.
Okay.
You could probably shorten it a little bit.
Okay. Yeah,
but
yeah.
I mean, look, you can see that your knee is not pointing back in the throw anymore.
Yeah, yeah.
And you do in fact get the full plant, and it is better.
Yay.
You're still up you're kind of it's kind of rising as you're coming in.
Yeah, it's trying to.
But like you can see, you're still doing a better job.
Yeah, yeah.
Of getting into the right position. So that's kind of where I was saying, where it's like, if we do the overemphasis, we end up in the middle.
Nice.
And so we were here pulling to here, and so you ended up kind of here pulling straight up. So we ended up in the middle.
So the main thing I'm thinking about is elbows and toes. Just to keep the elbow up and to stay on my toes. Love it. That was even better.
Yeah.
I'm
gonna watch each one back before you throw. Just
let's do
this is where there's more potential for stuff to fall apart. So
Absolutely.
I want to be more disciplined.
Yeah.
With, look, great on that.
Wow.
Very different X step.
Yeah.
Much better. Much
yeah.
better. Probably ideally I'd like to see a smidge lower.
Okay.
But I mean, that is drastically different from where we started. That was a little bit of
a little too much.
Yeah. The X step, good. That was a very high launch.
Very high. Too high.
Here, let me watch it.
Yeah.
A little bit turned on the X step. I think just from taking a bigger stride length.
Yeah.
But the elbow was good. You just did the wrist thing kind of at the end.
Okay. Try to focus on keeping the legs parallel instead of just being on the toes.
I also think the X step doesn't need to be big.
Got it.
Do you read music at all?
Not really.
Okay. You know like the difference between quarter and eighth notes, right?
Yeah.
Every step except the X step is a quarter note.
Okay.
The X step is an eighth note.
Got it.
It should be like half.
Okay.
If you can do that. Like a lot of people like make these like they'll be like, cool, it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
Not correct.
Okay.
It's 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Okay, cool. Got it. Oh, I didn't do that right at all. Everything fell apart.
You're thinking about it a lot. Give yourself a second.
Yeah.
Mentally reset. Maybe do like a dry run without the throw.
Yeah, it was the extra 2 steps I gave myself to try to get a pattern down, and it threw me off somehow.
That was too big of a next step.
Okay.
Go slow again.
Is that?
Yep. Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah, that's pretty good.
I crushed that Emperor.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I mean, yeah.
Oh yeah. I don't know about the upper body, but the lower body actually felt good. I feel tension actually. Kind of weird.
Yeah, we want to feel tension. If you're not feeling tension, something's wrong. All right, let me watch this last one before we throw the final disc. Yeah, the X step was a bit sloppy on the last one. I think just again from striding too far, just stay really focused on being the last stride is the one that needs to be big, not the X. Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, that's a very overstable driver, so let's go, man. You can see you stepped a little far, but it's nothing like you were before. Come back, start low, and you start collapsing, and then you pull it up out of it.
Wow.
It's a boop.
Well, that's better than I normally do. So
yeah, for sure. And there, let me try to find that one that you did really well.
Okay.
Yeah, much better.
Cool.
Much, much better.
All right.
So how does it feel like for your body? Like where are you feeling sore? Does anything feel twinged?
Nothing like that, but I can tell in the movements now, I feel like there's, I don't know how to describe it, there's tension here and here for the upper body. So
How about lower? Do you feel in your abs? Do you feel in anything in your glutes?
Not as much, but I think that's another one of my many weaknesses.
Yeah.
Because I throw a lot like this, and that's not good. So I'm trying to do this, invoke the abs and the glutes, but I haven't been able to do it yet. So I haven't focused on that so much, not feeling anything there. The main thing I'm feeling is here, and then like here.
All good places to, but it's good to feel tension. Yeah. Not necessarily pain. Yeah. Like it doesn't feel good, it doesn't feel bad, but it definitely doesn't feel bad. It definitely feels tight. Like to me when I do it. Like that's when I'm like, my furthest throws, and it's when I'm like coiling and I feel like, oh my gosh, like I could not be wound any tighter. Those are the ones that go the farthest for me. Nice. Yeah. So yeah, I got a lot to work on, and yeah, that'll work. Yeah, but great job, man. Cool. Like, hey, thank you very much, Cam. Of course. Really Hey guys, hope you enjoyed that video. As you have probably noticed by now, this is part of a two-part series where he was working on two different things and made incredible progress. When working on two things, sometimes it muddies the waters a little bit, but even just now, only just a few days after, he's already seeing success translating past that session. So if you're interested in coaching, hit me up. Excited to work with you and help you get better.